Blizzard unveiled some sweet surprises over the weekend. Mezco celebrated Toy Fair a little differently. And Rainbow Six Siege and Watch Dogs Legion are showing no signs of slowing down. All that and the latest and everything cool today in the Rundown. Hello, my friends. It was a very busy weekend in Geektown, and we've got a lot to get into. And by the way, I'm the mayor of Geektown, and I just want to give a big shout-out and a thank you to our sponsor, the Gaming Stadium. They are Canada's leader in online esports tournament facilitation. They've got tournaments going on every weekend. You don't want to miss out on the action that they're putting together. You can join up with them at tgs.gg. Today's episode of The Rundown is dedicated to Tiago Santos, who says, "This was amazing, one of your best streams. Thank you." That was about my interview with David Jaffe. All right, let's get started with our look at all the things that went down at BlizzCon. Blizzard adapted to COVID times and had BlizzConline over the weekend, and they had big announcements around Diablo and Overwatch and World of Warcraft, and the thing that I think got me the most excited is the Blizzard Arcade Collection, which I actually picked up for the Nintendo Switch over the weekend. This packs in 3 classic Blizzard titles, Rock and Roll Racing, Lost Vikings, and Blackthorn. I love all 3 of these games, and it was a real treat to play them for a little bit over the weekend. I was playing some other stuff too. I streamed with you guys. Thank you for joining me on that one, by the way. But not only do the games come with multiple versions of each title, there's also definitive editions of each game, including CD music with Rock and Roll Racing. There's behind-the-scenes stuff. I can't recommend this collection highly enough. Digital Eclipse did a fantastic job bringing this collection out there for modern players. Of course, we got some other cool upgrades to classic games. Diablo 2 is getting a resurrected edition. It's coming to both PC and consoles this year, and it's going to update the visuals considerably from the classic Diablo 2 game. They actually have some really cool side-by-sides on the Diablo website, so you can check out just how the Resurrected Edition looks compared to the classic game. Classic game still holds up, by the way. It still looks really damn good. There was also an announcement of a new rogue class as part of Diablo 4. We don't know when we're getting Diablo 4. I think Diablo 2, not only is it a smart business sense to kind of honor one of the best games ever made, everybody that's ever touched that action RPG classic is going to want to play this again, but it's also a way to kind of tide people over until Diablo 4 is ready, and presumably Blizzard is going to learn a lot from players when their reactions to Diablo 2 Resurrected are out there in the wild. They also have some updates for World of Warcraft, including the classic game. They've got a Burning Crusade classic, which was the first expansion for the original World of Warcraft when it came out, and I think I reviewed that with Tommy way back in the day. And they've also got new content for Shadowlands. It's called Chains of Domination. Now, I haven't played World of Warcraft in a very long time, but I know a lot of you WoW players out there are going to be very excited about all of these new additions. Basically, you can go in different directions with how you want to consume World of Warcraft content at this stage. Pretty cool stuff. But I think the biggest announcements were tied around Overwatch 2. Now, we don't know when we're going to be playing this game. We do know that Blizzard is really taking this as a completely new step for the Overwatch franchise. They don't want to kind of disavow or sort of dismiss all of the incredible work that the teams have been putting into Overwatch over the years. It's still an incredibly popular title. I played a little bit of Overwatch on my PlayStation 5 over the weekend and had fun immediately. So clearly, the original Overwatch is still super important to Blizzard. What they showed off was the new railgun weapon that Sojourn is going to be using in Overwatch 2. This is a brand new character. She's Canadian, by the way, and she's going to kick some ass with that railgun. They also really kind of emphasized that the mechanics are going to change a little bit. They're going to put a little bit more emphasis on tuning and tweaking the heavies, but I think all across the board they're going to be doing that. It's also going to be much more story heavy and much more around cooperatively engaging in some PvE and PvP experiences tied to some pretty phenomenal cut sequences that Blizzard is really famous for. And frankly, that's a great direction for me to go in. I mean, I loved the original Overwatch title. It's awesome, but I did feel like there was so much effort put into story embellishment, but we didn't really play story-type content. We had little snippets and little details, but this feels like it's going to be a little bit more focused along that. You're still going to be playing cooperatively. It's not a single-player experience, but it's going to be tied to sharing story components, which I'm excited for. The game looks great. They showed off some new imagery for maps like Rome and New York, and they look phenomenal. I expect that we're probably going to get Overwatch 2 in 2022, and of course it's going to have all of the modern enhancements as well, the ray tracing and all kinds of great little details. Very excited to find out more. Can't wait to play Overwatch 2. Can't wait to play Diablo 2 Resurrected. We've still got a little bit of a wait for Diablo 4, but lots of good stuff coming from Blizzard. Another company that was busy kind of adapting to showing off their stuff over the weekend was Mezco. One of my favorite things to do in the before times was to head to Toy Fair, and one of my favorite toy companies to visit was always Mezco. They always had an incredible display of their different types of action figures and different collections that they had out there, especially when they started to develop the 112 line. I love the 112 toys. They're kind of like mini Hot Toys. They have all of that beautiful attention to detail. They have cloth outfits and costumes and lots of little cool accessories. And what they did this year, because of course there was no public toy fair for people to go to, is online they showed off little bits and pieces of the stuff that they're going to be releasing throughout the year. My emphasis was of course on the 112 stuff. Now they showed off this Batman Supreme Night just before Toy Fair, and this is kind of the blue and gray variant because there's been a stealth version of this figure already released, but I love the look of this. Look at the ornate details in that utility belt. Incredible, and the grimace on his face, I just love it. Similar kind of artistry with the blue and yellow costuming on this awesome new Wolverine figure. I was blown away when they showed off this Fantastic Four collection. You've got Johnny Storm and Sue Storm and Reed Richards and The Thing. They all look so damn cool. They look like they're bursting off of a 1960s comic panel. I love it. They also have a new 112 figure for Morbius coming up this year. They also showed off a Constantine figure complete with the trench coat and the tie. He looks so badass. I love it. I'm also a huge fan of the new Superman figure that they've got there, which they really set it up to kind of look like it's from the set of the Christopher Reeve films. They don't use the Christopher Reeve likeness, but the costuming is totally classic. Absolutely Superman 78 style. They also showed off some Bill and Ted figures, which are part of their 5 Points line, so they're not quite as sophisticated and cool as the 112 stuff, but still, lots of great little details in these. And for Brandon Lee fans, there's actually a 112 version of the Crow, which looks deadly. Love the look of this figure. And they showed off a 112 version of Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, which just looks so kick-ass. I love the costume. I love the character. They did an incredible job with this one. And maybe the highlight of their entire online Toy Fair event this weekend is they showed off Batman Gotham by Gaslight, a 112 version of this character. Absolutely stunning. The figures that these guys make are so cool. I've got a bunch of 112s in my collection, and they're some of my favorite figures. They're less expensive than the Hot Toys. They're smaller than the Hot Toys, but they're still a little bit premium. They still cost around $100 or so, but I really dig them. So kudos to you, Mezco. We couldn't even go to Toy Fair this year, but you still managed to take my breath away. All right, now Ubisoft has also been busy, and they've got a bunch of cool things for us to look forward to. All right, first up, Watch Dogs Legion has got a bunch of new stuff coming up. On March 9th, they're actually going to be releasing their online mode, which is ready for multiplayer play out there. They've got free roam open world co-op. Players can team up with friends, up to 4 players, and you can explore London together. You can complete events and challenges. There's co-op missions for 2 to 4 players and new co-op gameplay mechanics. They've also got a tactical op, which is endgame content that they're calling Leader of the Pack. They're encouraging players to really team up and work together to complete these tough missions. And there's also a player versus player mode that they're releasing called Spider-Bot Arena, where it's 4 players in a deathmatch and you've got control of these deadly spider bots. And season pass holders of Watch Dogs Legion are also going to get 2 single-player story missions released on March 9th as well. Now over in Rainbow Six Siege territory, we're entering year 6 of this totally unstoppable multiplayer shooter. We are entering with a new season called Crimson Heist, and a new attacker is being introduced named Flores, who's from Argentina, and he's got a bunch of new equipment, including a gadget called the RCE Retero Charge. Flores can use it as a remote-controlled explosive device. He's also going to be armed with an AR-33 or an SR-25 as the primary weapon, and players are going to be able to test some of the new stuff, including the new map and the new equipment, starting today. And Ubisoft has also put out details for new content that's going to be coming throughout the year. There's going to be 3 more seasons with new operators and new destinations around the world. This is a massive game. There's 60 million registered users that play Rainbow Six Siege. Of course, it's a huge esports sensation, and there's the invitational that happens every year. It's a really fun game. I actually loaded this onto the PlayStation 5 not too long ago and played it for a little while. I see the pull. Now, obviously, my job is to report on all the new stuff and play a lot of these games and come back and talk about them. But yeah, I completely understand stand the pull of Rainbow Six Siege. So fans of this game who've been sticking with it for a long time, they've got a lot to look forward to in 2021. All right, something a little bit different today. Our friends at Intel Canada and HP sent me out a laptop for me to take a look at. And what I thought I would do is I'll unbox it real quickly here on the rundown today. So let's take a look at this right now. Hopefully you can see that all right. I've got a couple of cameras set up. I've got the top of the box all undone right there. We will open this up right there. It's got some nice Omen packaging. I'll turn it around so you can take a look at it. See how the box opens up. And inside of here, we have the power brick. And now we will take out the laptop. So you just lift that up. We've got all kinds of new plastic wrapping to deal with here. I'm taking this off. I hope you like the plastic sounds. There to pop this out. So this is part of, I think, Intel's new initiative to make super thin and super sleek looking laptops. It just looks so cool. They're making gaming laptops that are very subtle, you know, that don't scream that, oh my god, all I do is play PC games. But of course, these are powerhouses. And I'll tell you about the processor and all that stuff when I break into it a little bit more. That is one slick looking machine right there. Look at that. Looks like there's lots of ports. I don't know what this is. I'll open it up though. Let's take a look. Oh, more ports. HDMI port. It's all USB-C. Looks like there's lots of ports along the side, and then they give you some more expansion stuff, so you don't have to buy one of those little extra dongles out there. Apple. So that's all that's in the box. I'll play with this a little bit tonight and I'll come back with some thoughts on it, but that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with a brand new episode. Thank you to all of our subscribers and all of our EPN members. I added some new badges and emojis for all of our EPN members out there as a way of showing gratitude. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow. And until then, play forever.